Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Knight's Tightrope, a Japanese drama from 2016 that is based on a novel. Now, this film is essentially about two schoolgirl friends, each of whom have had their personal talent and opportunity for success stolen away from them in a single instant. I'm not going to tell you exactly, what happened to each of these girls because the film communicates those events in interesting ways. What I will say is that their dreams were derailed and they have to deal with the disappointment, anger, and frustration that comes with that. The story flows from there and some new side characters are introduced later on. Now, one of the things that I really enjoyed about Knight's Tightrope is the way that it balances its tone. There are some dark themes that are addressed in this film. The characters contemplate things like suicide, and they are also confronted with bullying and other not-so-pleasant things. There's also an element of blackmail that I found intriguing and somewhat concerning because the blackmail attempts are specifically aimed at adult men. And I found that to be a pretty interesting kind of take on things, given the current climate out there. And you might know what I'm talking about when you watch the film. But this movie balances out some of those dramatically disturbing events with its focus on friendship and self-worth. So it's successfully gentle and edgy at the same time, and I like that. I also really liked both of our lead characters. They choose to deal with their problems in very different ways, so they're very distinguishable. And it's interesting what decisions they make and how they deal with everything. They're both multidimensional and properly developed. They actually do not spend a whole lot of time on screen together, but you still get a very distinct impression of friendship between them, which I found very interesting and endearing. I like how the filmmakers use abrupt silence during some of the more intense dramatic moments. All of the sound will fade out of the film and you won't hear anything. And it's quietly unnerving at times. I like that. The film is also nicely shot. There's one cool shot at nighttime involving one of the girls' hair, and it did not seem to be a special effect, so I'm not sure exactly how they filmed that. They must have been using some type of fan or something, but it was pretty cool. Definitely a very memorable image from the film. Script writing is solid for the most part, but that brings me to my one big problem. The big problem that I have with this film, contrivances, okay? There are certain improbable coincidences that begin to appear during the second half of the film. No spoilers here, of course, but we eventually find out that certain characters are coincidentally connected with a different character for really no apparently good reason from a script writing standpoint. And the frustrating thing is that these contrivances really do not add much of anything to the film itself. I kept asking myself, what if these two characters were not related? And the answer is that the drama would have had the same impact anyway. You know what I mean? I don't know if the filmmakers added it to establish an ironic situation or kind of a theme of destiny or fate or something like that, but I didn't really like the decision-making from a script-writing standpoint in terms of using those improbable coincidences. And it didn't really work for me in that aspect. So that's my biggest problem with the film. Some viewers won't care, and some viewers will consider it a fatal flaw. I thought it was my reaction to it was somewhere in the middle. I consider it to be a flaw in the film, but it wasn't a deal breaker or anything. So I still actually very much enjoyed Knight's Tightrope, and I recommend it to those of you who want a coming-of-age drama involving teenage girls. However, if improbable coincidences and contrivances really bother you, you might want to place this film as a lower priority. But if they don't, check it out. This is a good flick. In regard to availability, it is available on Region 3 DVD with subtitles, and it's also on Cineflix for streaming rental if you have a subscription there. And as always, I'll see you next time.